Yeah, it's still all about your movement, all about your timing. More so about your credibility. If you can remain relevant. Quarter. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the hood with it though, baby.
hiphopisreal.com. Hit it,
300.
Boy, Rome, you know what it is. We in the house. Hip Hop is Real, #1 media channel in the world. I'm here with your one and only knowledge to God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's the word?
What's going on, family?
I'm wonderful. Salute to the battle rap culture, man. Appreciate, Hip Hop is Real for having me.
You know what I'm saying? Mr. Boots on the ground. Heavy weekend this weekend. You were in Ohio.
I was
were
in
New
Ohio.
York.
Shout out to Public Influence Battle League and shout out to Bar You to Death Battle League as well. Two dope leagues, you know what I'm saying? Did they thing this weekend, put on for the culture. Had two major headliners, you know what I'm saying? One with Snake Eyes and Swamp, the battle of the raccoon and the patch eye,
Eye patch.
The eye patch, yeah.
Call it the patch eye.
The eye patch, you know what I'm saying? And we still don't have a winner. We're waiting for the battle to drop to determine who wins. You can ask me on, who I got winning and all that too if you'd like, but you know what I'm saying? But great weekend. This for the Tay-Rocks tournament. You know what I'm saying? A couple new talent.
Rocks Royal Rumble.
K2 and Vino Collins are the last two remaining battlers. Okay. They did their thing and they moving forward and everything like that.
Are they going to then battle and the winner of that faces Rock?
Yeah. After that battle, the winner of that goes and battles Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Are they performing at the battling at the next card that
event
has like Shadi Horror?
Right, with chess and all of that. Yep,
okay,
yep,
fire.
Yep.
And do you know when that is?
June 6th.
June 6th? Fire. You gonna be in there? Are you gonna be in
attendance?
Of course,
100%. And I plan to go back and visit Gotti again.
Okay, we're gonna definitely get to that. Well, since we right there, how was that when you touched down in Ohio? What was that like? Free my brother first and foremost. Y'all know what it is. Free Geechi Gotti. Free GeechiGotti.com for all the fans that are watching. I know we talked about this earlier real quick. A lot of fans were after your blog. A lot of people were reaching out to you.
100%. 100%. That's why I want to do this blog too.
Anybody that's listening, anything that you want to donate, help, support, first and foremost, go stream all of his music on all DSPs. And then the website is freeGeechiGotti.com.
Yeah, so for everybody watching, as my boy Rome just said, it's freeGeechiGotti.com. You could, go there to support, send whatever y'all need to send, show love and everything like that. freeGeechiGotti.com. We'll put it in the description so y'all could just, tap in and go check him out. All his new music is on DSP, so y'all could check it out, stream it. I have a couple of videos on Hip Hop is Real right now, him in Dialect, Jimi Hendrix or Hendrix. Y'all go watch that video, run them numbers up and everything like that. But yeah, free my guy Gotti. It was a good experience though, man. Like, good experience in the sense of like to see the brother, you know what I mean, and build with him and everything like that. Growing up, I've had my fair share of visits. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Friends that have been locked up and things like that. This experience was a little different. Right. I thought because usually when I go visit, I was usually in New York. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm from New York, so usually I'm visiting my friends or brothers that get locked up there in New York. And I'm going in there thinking I'm actually going to physically see him. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like I'm about to pull up, be able to, dab him up, like, you know what I'm saying? But the way they got it, their system, when I walk in there, and it was a lot easier too, you know what I'm saying? I could say, but they had, the visiting room, but it was through a computer. So I'm talking to him through the jail phone, and he comes down and I got to sign into the computer, put my name, my information and all that, and he pops up on the screen through a computer. Okay. So, I'm talking to him via computer and stuff like that, and he's like in some type of day room or something like that. Okay. And that's how we was able to contact and communicate. Okay.
What was it like? I mean, you gave your blog earlier on the update with Gotti. For the people that didn't watch the blog, what was the overall sentiments from y'all? Conversation?
That he's okay. Like, he's okay. He's not he's like, you could just, he like, God got his plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, things was happening. I may have been moving too fast and just doing too much in life. And, this is my moment to sit down. Like, he's like, I'm realizing why I'm here.
A moment of reflection.
Basically, you sitting down, you got all that time in your hands. Now you get to kind of like sit back. And you're like, this is like time he kind of needed in a sense.
Clock slow down.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So, but the most I got out of the conversation is that, I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay. I understand, you know, why I'm here. And I truly believe, you know, everything's going to work out in my favor. You know what I'm saying? He's very positive. He wasn't down on himself. He wasn't... And he was just still excited about the culture, excited about battle rap and things like that. So you could just tell he's still like damn, I really...
You guys talked about battle rap for a little bit?
We definitely talked about battle rap. But, you know, in the beginning we talked...
I know you. Did you bring it up or did he bring it up?
We were talking, you know, really I was talking about just, you know, life and family and things like that. But I definitely brought it up. You know what I'm saying?
Knowing
I'm
you.
like, yeah, you know, the culture. Surf Home. You know what I mean? Surf Home, he did his first blog. He was talking heavy, you know what I mean? Yeah. Him and Mook had a crazy debate. Him and Easy had a little conversation. Him and Ward, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and, you know, pretty much just that, you know what I mean? Kind of just talking about, you know, Search Return, and he asked me what battles came out and any good battles.
What'd you
know
tell
what I'm saying?
What was your
I was just like, you know, it was a couple of high battles, nothing too crazy, like, you know what I mean?
You ain't name none? No
nah, nothing that I was like, yo, you gotta watch this or that. You know, he still just got locked up, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing too crazy, too much craziness happened. But I told him about the events that I was going through this weekend. I was like, yo, Snake Eyez and Swamp is battling. Like, damn, I'm gonna miss that.
Yeah.
I'm like, ShowOff and Jakkboy, they got a little controversy and shit like that going on. But I ain't get too deep into the details of it and everything. But, you know, and like I said, he just like, yo, he said, I hope I'm home, but if I'm not, man, I got to catch that surfer and move, man, at least one round. And see. He said the COs are cool. They know who he is. You know, niggas showing love and shit like that. And, you know, he talked about not being on social media. I guess they have some access to be able to go on social media and see certain things. And he was just like, you know, he like, it's like he don't care right now. Like, none of that shit matters.
It doesn't.
You know? Yeah, but he's in good spirits. That's one thing I can say. Gotti's in good spirits. It was good to build with him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we do want to say salute to you. You know what I'm saying? From the inner circle, when I talked to Li, he was very grateful that somebody within close proximity of the team was able to actually get out there and, you know what I'm saying? And even though he wasn't in person, still was able to put some eyes on him. Like, you know what I'm saying? And just... You know, because niggas talking to him over the phone, nigga can say he good all the time, but you can see it in the nigga face.
Yeah, nah, he was chilling. You know, Gotti got such a great personality. Like,
oh, for sure.
He's a fun, like, he having fun. You know, he cracking jokes. We laughing the whole time we in there. We having a good kind. It ain't like some sad shit. It's like, you know what I mean?
I mean, much you can do once it's in that situation.
Right. We having a good time. It was a good conversation. You know what I'm saying? Great build.
So salute to you for that, you know, from the team, from him. I know he was very much appreciative of being able to see a familiar face, a loved one, somebody that he does business with, somebody that he travels on the road with.
I was just with him in L.A. You know we was just chopping it up in, January.
Yeah. You know,
so, yeah. We was planning on doing events with each other, you know what I mean?
There's things going on. He's already came and collabed with us over here.
Exactly. It was Eyez versus Geechi Gotti.
Like, you know what I mean? So salute to you for, you know what I'm saying, going to do what you did on that. We're going back to the weekend. When you left Gotti, you go back, you're in Ohio, you go to the event. What's the energy like around the Snake and Swamp battle? Who do you think won after all of that? Like because there was a bet and everything was heavy.
Yeah, I say in the building, it felt like Swamp won. You know what I'm saying? It felt like Swamp won. Swamp got the cool demeanor. You know, Snake is barking. He in his bag. He talking his shit. But, you know, I had to say, Snake will probably hate me for saying it. But, you know what I'm saying? In the building, I had to say, like, Swamp had the better round in the third. Snake cut his... He gonna wild me up. He gonna like, bitch ass nigga, you thought nigga.
Yeah, I didn't see the battle, so I can't comment. Snake.
But one thing I can say is when I was with Snake.
Snake 2-1. He said he won the first 2 rounds. Snake won. Fuck
listen. I'm not mad at that too because the first round, you know what I'm saying. I had people in the building like arguing like, nah, Snake got that first, nigga. If you like bars, nigga, Snake won.
Okay.
If you like raps. All that smooth shit, Swamp talking, he wasn't rapping about nothing. Like, so it was that sentiment in there, too. And then in the second round, I feel like Swamp did pick it up, but Snake had a lot of those moments where he, like, you know, he's saying real wild stuff to him, you know what I mean? Like, you eating the ball, all it is, and you know what I'm saying? So it's very shocking.
Yeah. But
So, you know, like, those were, like, good, funny moments. And, like, he said he had the type 1, type 2 diabetes bar and shit like that. Like, shit that I caught a little later, too. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm like, okay, nah, Snake was cooking. He was in his bag. You feel me? Like,
But you still think Swamp
in the building, I'm just saying, he had
Fuck the building. What was you saying?
Yeah, in the building. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I watch it back and I'm really dissecting the bars again, maybe I'll think different. But in the building, I walked out feeling like Swamp was victorious.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I could be wrong, like I said, watching it back. It could change our minds when the fans be able to vote. And I know Snake sometimes get a lot of flack and all of that. And, you know,
the fans gonna say he lost just because they want to see him eat
raccoon and all that. But why don't y'all want to see Swamp with an eye patch?
Because it's not as entertaining.
It's not as entertaining? Just him with it look like a Halloween costume?
I love Snake Eyez. That's my dog. He pisses people off.
He's the top so niggas, he the top villain.
Niggas want to see him
eat coon.
You know, like just straight up.
And we had such a funny I had one of my funniest interviews with Snake too when we got back to New York and shit. Like, cause we ended up taking the same flight back. We got back to New York. We went to Long Island, went to Bayview restaurant. He took me over there. You know, salute the Bayview restaurant, dope ass restaurant in Long Island. And we did a blog out there, and he was roasting Jazz, like he was in his bag, because Jazz was like, you gotta eat. He's like, she ain't even fucking see the battle. So, you know, Snake, like, nigga, Jazz, you got too big of a name to just be setting narratives, like, you know what I mean?
He probably wilded her up.
Nah, he definitely wilded her up. Y'all can go check that right now. Yeah, it's out right now. You know, Jazz already combating, and EK, you know, he like, I go bail Gotti out. He was in his bag.
Okay. Damn, Snake.
It was funny as shit, though. I ain't gonna lie. Snake was super in his bag. But yeah, overall, though, salute to Public Influence Battle League for being able to put it together. The room wasn't as packed as we felt like it could have been and things like that. But, you know, nonetheless, it was an incredible battle. Slade and Av had a good battle.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, they did their thing. You know what I'm saying? I'd have to watch it again to see who really won. Because Av had, like, two really strong I think his first and second was really strong. Slade had a very strong third round from what I could remember, but I'd have to watch the battle over, you know what I'm saying, to really determine the winner. And Zan and Jay Gray, they battled as well. So, you know what I mean? Jay, she won convincingly because Zan was messing up. She started good. Her first half of her first was good. And then the crowd, I guess she wasn't getting the reaction she wanted from the crowd like that. Okay. To me, she was just in her head. And she just started stumbling, bumbling, and, you know what I mean? And then her second was the same, and she started just talking herself down. Like, oh, y'all ain't fucking with me. I'm like, yo, nah, the crowd, they rocking with you. Like, just rap. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And Jay Gray just took over the whole energy of the crowd, and she did amazing. She lit the crowd up. She fed off that, you know, her choking and just belt the ass.
Didn't let up.
Yeah, so, you know, salute to Xano.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, no, don't let that shit bother your performance.
I see sometimes when the artist, like, chokes or stumbles.
The other artists
like,
just kind of...
you just fucked up the battle.
Yeah, nah,
bro.
Whoop ass.
Man, you're supposed to put the pedal to the metal now. Whoop ass.
100%.
Make a moment out of this shit for him.
Yeah.
So salute to her.
The tournament battles was good, K2, and I was a judge for the tournament battles, too.
You're the worst judge to have in the world.
Nah, I'm the best. Don't try to take away my money. You know what I'm saying? Pay me. I'm a great judge. But now, K2 won. Who the hell did he battle?
See?
I mean, the nigga he battled, he beat.
He beat. That's what
you know what I'm saying?
Winners.
I'm mad I can't remember homie he battled, though. But yeah, I can't remember homie name. I have to look at the card and all that. We ain't doing all that, right? Nah, I'm gonna do that because I don't want to disrespect homie. Real quick, my bad.
History only remembers the winners, man.
I know, right? Public influence. Let me see. Okay, boom.
I'll see, man. I got knowledge on his heels.
Yeah, nah, they got me all effed up out here.
See, come on, man.
Oh, he battled Joey Linwood.
Okay, I first seen Joey Linwood.
I rock with Joey Linwood too. So my bad, Joey. I rock with you too. He cool dude. But yeah, he messed up. Like in the sense of like he ain't have enough material. You know what I mean? He had like I think like 90 seconds or something like that, or 2 minutes or something, and he kind of just he ain't have enough material to compete. You know what I'm saying? And it's like with them short rounds, you supposed
60 seconds.
No, he was leaving like 20 seconds on the clock. Shit like that. Like, homie was out here bombing and all the way to the end, rapping over his, you know what I mean? And he just had a couple better lines, you know what I'm saying? Joey had a moment where he was like, got a little personal. He was talking about, he said some wild shit to him about like a white girl. Like you let a white girl eat your ass or some wild shit. It was a lot of ass eating, the balls. Oh, it was like a lot of crazy lines. Right. And it kind of, you could tell it ruffled K2 feathers a little bit. Man. He ain't like that line. They got a little. I don't know, man. I wasn't in the space conversation when it happened. Yeah, I don't be in the space. The space right. Place. But that was funny. And then Vino Collins and Skis, I believe is his name. Yeah, they had a battle. Homie's nice. Skis is super fire. He lost though, but it was like it was 3-2. I picked him. Me and Doc had him winning, but the other 3 judges had Vino Collins winning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Skis, that's definitely his name. But that dude Skis is fire. Like, I thought he had what it takes. It was a debatable battle. Okay. So, you know, and this was one of the battles where it got real touchy. Like, niggas was damn near, like, pushing each other. And, I mean, it got a little out of hand, you know what I mean? But, you know, they kept it cool. They finished the battle, you know what I mean? And they both handled their business. Vino Collins was super fire, though. Okay. You know, had a lot of amazing bars, you know what I mean, for a new guy. So, between Vino Collins and K2, it's up to them to see who's able to, you know, be the winner. Okay. Yeah.
If you had to go off of those 2 performances that you've seen,
who gonna win in Battle Rock?
Yeah.
They both got potential, bro. They both got real potential. Like, I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking K2 might be the one to take it. He sound like Rock too a little bit. Okay. Like his voice, like he sounds like Tay Rock. You know what I'm saying? Funny. Yeah, I'm like, imagine them battle each other. But Vino Collins, he's like, you could tell he's hungry too. Like, they're both hungry, but Vino got this extra edge about him where it's like he looks like he refuses to lose. So that's gonna be, and they seem like they know each other and they cool. So
Tay Rock gonna put belt to ass.
Oh yeah, nah. And Gotti said it too. Gotti was like, yo, tell Tay Rock. Because, you know, Gotti did the first one. He said, don't let, like, beat the shit out these niggas. Yeah. Let these niggas know what it's like. Over here. Yeah, like, don't let these, like, what y'all doing is cool, but belt the ass. And Tay Rock was like, nah, Gotti. He said, for Gotti, nah, I'm definitely doing y'all little niggas.
Oh, you told him when you said
Yeah, of course.
I bet.
Yeah, so Tay Rock, Rock about to kill whichever one make it. So, you know, one day I better pray that y'all lose. No, I'm stop. Yeah, but yeah, that was cool. And then, you know, I went to New York.
So you get on the plane.
Hop on the plane.
Go to New York.
Chill the next day. Eyes. Yeah. Chill
with Snake Eyes. Go viral a little bit with a little.
Then we go, we do that interview. Then I hit the road. I go see my moms and my family and all that. You know, it's my niece's birthday.
Yeah, being out here that you don't live at home no more. Sometimes when you go home for work, I know you just fly in.
Yeah, I'm happy I went to go see them that day because I didn't go back to Long Island after that. It was like I was in the city and I was just in Queens. I was just out there after that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I went to see my peoples. It was my niece's 16th birthday. And then I went out there to Brooklyn with my guy, Rude Reed. And then we was out there. And it was, you know, it was a dope event, another dope event. And they were battling for belts. Shake Taylor.
Y'all, you was going viral outside.
Yeah, yeah, because these niggas was like, yeah.
And you, bro, you were messing. Now I don't want to say you messy, but you tricky, bro. I watched the video you dropped with them when they got to arguing.
We talking about ShowOff and
ShowOff and Jakkboy when they was going back and forth outside. You kept bringing it up, but not bringing it up.
Yeah, at first I was trying to keep it.
I know you, so I can tell you was dancing around it. You was bringing it up, hoping like one of them would actually go there like, without you having to bring up the whole question.
I be thinking for the fans, right? I know the fans gonna be like, nah, how you not gonna ask them? Like, come on. So I'll be like, all right, bro, you just gotta ask them what the fans want to know.
You try to slow cook. You like, yo, it got in. You guys got real intense.
Yeah, I'm trying to use all that type of adjectives to describe the noun.
Like, yes, because
Jack, how you feel about the audio?
How you feel about it? You talking about the one that don't exist?
Did you do it, bro?
Did you do it? Oh, the camera on. I forgot. Yeah, you can do it now.
No, we can do it on.
You can do it now. The camera on.
We gotta,
I already told you I was gonna give you that pass.
Yeah, we gotta have that convo anyway.
No, I don't gotta have no convo with you, nigga. I said what I said already.
Say me too.
All right. So what you talking about?
So this is what I'm saying. Did you not?
Did I not what?
Did you do it or did you Did you not? not record?
Nigga, I said it wasn't never real. Why I gotta repeat myself?
Cause you said
I
it was
asked you
a-
that.
You
Why I
said
gotta
it was a
repeat myself
troll.
though? Yeah, it was
Right?
a troll, nigga.
So we gonna ask it face to face if it's not. Now that
I don't
told
care about
to
you.
the
Yeah,
chat.
listen, bro. I told you what
That's
I said
told
already,
you.
nigga.
And I told you what I was gonna ask.
Yo, bro, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, my nigga. Cause
That's
I'm
cool.
telling you, bro. You
I just
playing with
wanted
me,
to
my
make
nigga.
sure.
Wait,
So,
hold
we got
on, bro,
we
real
got
quick,
it
bro.
here. He
Cause
said
you
it's
talking
not
about
true.
battle rap
So we
or
got
real life, bro.
Because he brought up audio, like you trying to get them to bring it up without
And then
you
I
having-
asked it straight up.
And then right when you did that,
Because I didn't want it to go left, too. Because I don't know what, you just never know. I know ShowOff for years. I know Jakkboy for years. These is, listen, anything could go down. You don't know what could happen, bro. I'm saying, sometimes you be thinking and shit could go left, bro.
Yeah, you asked anyway.
I did.
And I heard the way you asked was just funny. Like, y'all gotta go back and watch it, man.
I gotta
Knowledge
watch
is-
it again.
The knowledge is slick, man. The way
I
you
said,
just threw it out
because they
there,
just talk, because they was having too much fun at one point.
Yeah, bro, because
They was all smiling, joking.
He was clowning them for having the
No, that was-
sensor on his pants.
Wasn't that before?
No,
that was
the whole-
after.
that was the whole video, I think.
Okay.
But I think they was clowning on the pants before you brought up.
I thought that was after, but anyway.
I don't know. Either way, it was.
All I know is that for me, what it was
is
is it started getting a little too friendly, right? That's what it was for me. That's why I asked it. I'm like, oh, y'all niggas acting like y'all niggas ain't got no. So what about the audio? And then all the friendly shit came out the window.
right out the window. As soon as you said
Sure.
that, man.
ShowOff ejaculate and ShowOff like, yeah, nigga, da da da. And I'm like, oh shit. And then they kind of told me to put the
ShowOff
camera.
be talking to niggas crazy.
Yeah, it got a little intense. I ain't gonna lie, it got a little
Poking
intense.
with the finger and
Yeah, that was in the battle when he kind of like,
y'all need with the
Ooh.
part in my backs.
yeah.
That shit be crazy. Yeah, me and the homie Smooth, we on the phone laughing about that shit. Like,
Now, salute to the culture. Everybody laughing and talking and having an opinion on it.
and I fuck with Jack too.
Both of them, bro. Real dudes. I got high respect for both of them.
Jack was
They kept it
done
professional as much as they could. Well, they kept it all the way professional. I'm not even gonna say as much as they could. They kept it all the way professional because it could have went left. It could have just been something else. And then I'm happy it wasn't. I'm happy they was able to just get through it and get the
It
battle
was a
done.
good battle. Lux.
It was a very good battle, yeah.
He gave it to
Jack, and our IP gave it to ShowOff. I was supposed to be the judge too, but I refused to judge
Why?
because I was like, I didn't want to judge that battle. Like
Why?
I was like,
What happened to
yo,
all that misery? Book me. I'm the judge. Just a second.
I judged
ago.
all the other battles that night, and before the battle, I said, yo, find another judge.
Why?
Because I was rocking with both of them, and like I didn't want to be biased towards anybody, and just what I mean.
So you means you fucked with somebody more than the other?
Nah,
So
fuck-
how could you be biased?
Cause I don't know, like I just was like, yo, I rock with both of them.
Then you're not
So-
being biased. You just rather not have to choose.
Yeah, then I say that. You know what I'm saying?
If you felt like you're gonna be biased, that means you were gonna rock with one over the other, and you didn't want to be put in that position.
I didn't want to feel I didn't want to feel like I was being biased. I didn't want them to feel like I was being biased or anything like that. Cause I rock with both of them.
Man, fuck all that. Who you think won? Now that you're not judging, it ain't nothing on the line. Who won?
If I would have judged that night, I probably would have picked Jack.
And you didn't want ShowOff to be mad at you.
Nah, it wasn't even
That's
that.
what it was. That's why you want to judge.
How did I not want Shaw to be mad at me
You
when I didn't
felt
know?
like Jack was gonna win out the gate.
No, I didn't. I didn't know who was gonna win out the gate.
Man, that means I know you. That means you felt like Jack was gonna win out
Did
the
I
gate.
feel like Jack was gonna win out the gate? I didn't feel like Jack was gonna win out the gate. I didn't know who was gonna win. I didn't know how it was gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Jack could have won, couldn't have won, but honestly, in the building, it didn't feel like it was going Jack way in the beginning.
It didn't?
Not really, because it felt like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jack had to fight to get reaction a little bit, especially
Okay.
at first. Like, it was like, yo, because, he in Brooklyn.
Oh, the battle was in
It
Brooklyn?
was in
too?
Brooklyn. Like,
Okay,
nigga,
yeah.
like,
Shaw
Shaw
was
had
at
his
home.
nigga. Jack was by himself.
Jack always down there by himself.
I'm just saying, he was super by himself. Like, he ain't had nobody with him. Like, he was dolly.
Shout out to Jack. Jack, he's always
Super
been
dolly. Shaw had his peoples with him, all that. Like, you know what I mean? He was in the depths of hell right there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And
he fought through that shit. But
fought through that shit and did his thing. And ShowOff came through aggressive. You seen some of the clips. Like, ShowOff was in his bag too. Like that first, I had gave the first to ShowOff, and I had gave the second and third to Jack.
Okay.
I think Jack had one of the best performances within the third. I think his third was like one of the best performances, and just bar wise and everything, he was cooking. The second could be a little debatable, because ShowOff was cooking too. That was a good round. But Jack, I think, edged that. Like, he had a little more, and the same in the third to me. ShowOff started freestyling a little bit in his third. But, you know, I'll leave it for the fans to judge and give their own opinions on it. I thought they was both incredible, though, and they put on for Bar You to Death.
These are
Ishmula and Shake Ted.
okay.
Ishmula probably had the most viral clip of the weekend for wilding out, smoking NY.
Somebody gonna make a meme out of him turning that hat around.
That shit was wild.
I just kept seeing so many people talking about, like, when a nigga turned that hat around.
He said, nigga, we don't got to rap. I see a lot of people like, yo, that's what's wrong with battle rap. Da, da, da. You know, it's like, hey, man.
But sometimes it be like, whatever it is, I don't know, man.
My thing is, listen, they finished their battle and everything went well.
I just feel like if that's what's going to be, then you don't need to do all that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they finished their battle. It
is
what it is.
It's intense.
And that's what Smoke was saying too. Like, it was mad niggas there that I had like real physical altercations with. So it was like a lot of shit. You know what I mean? That I guess we just ain't know about.
Man, I don't mean shit.
I know, but you know, and Smoke. I ain't gonna lie, Smoke was stuck.
I mean,
I say this.
Let me not say
Smoke
that.
was stuck.
But it don't.
Yeah, because then niggas is heckling, so now he's like feeling like y'all niggas doing it on purpose, and I'm losing,
Man,
and y'all fucking up my round,
Man,
and I'm losing.
Well, no, that's what's
and my belt's on the line, and now it feels like y'all niggas shitting on my whole progress.
Then he start taking it personal.
Right. So then it gets a little, get a little personal. That whole night, though, they said, yo, the first battle, some nigga got pushed, and it almost went left. You know what I mean? It was just like, maybe the second battle was cool. Swagtana versus Swagadon versus Bolshevik.
Horrible name. I'm sorry.
Bolshevik 4 or some shit like that. But, you know, Bolshevik won. Clear to me.
Okay.
You got me doing whole breakdowns for these events, but salute to them. Ish got the belt. He beat Smoker NY. You know what I'm saying? And
you was there covering it.
Yeah, no.
That was gonna be my next question.
Yeah, no, it was fun though. I had a good time. Shout outs to Baz, Tommy, Sean, the whole team over there. They did good. Shout outs to Loaded Lux for being a good judge and a host.
That's
you know
another
what I mean?
one. Y'all just at the vets. The legends are outside. He was at Smack's
Smack event. And then came through.
He was out there, like, you know what I mean?
Salute to Beloved, man. He, Lux, good dude, great energy. Every time I see Lux, man.
A lot of people in the culture always talk about, oh, there's no coverage here. Y'all not talking, there's the mess and drama of the week is being talked about more than the raps at this event. This league had these phenomenal battles and nobody's talking about it. Where do you, like, really pick and choose? Because these are two small leagues relatively, right? And you're there covering and they're getting some of the best coverage, even against a league that might be more established, that had a good event with better names, but they're just not getting the coverage. Even URL's event, you're not there. I don't see no coverage on Nexus too much, right? How do you pick and choose where you're going? How does that work?
Well, I'll say this. Public Influence, they booked me to come through. You know what I mean? I seen their event. I've been working with them for some time now.
Okay.
So they like how, they like the coverage.
Right.
So, they help, make sure I'm able to get there, you know what I'm saying? Make sure I'm housed and I'm straight and throw a little paper this way, you know what I mean? Make sure your brother good. And, that helps me motivate to do the best work. But, I enjoy what I do, though. You know what I'm saying? I truly enjoy covering these events and things like that. And the same with Bar You to Death. I've been doing some good business with them as well. So they've been booking me to cover their events. And, we do event coverages. So any league from anywhere around America and even the world, if you want Hip Hop Is Real in the building, all you got to do is reach out to me, via Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever, we have social media, whether it's Knowledge of God or Hip Hop Is Real. And you guys can book us to come through and cover your event. So you guys have top-notch coverage. We'll get clips of some of the dope clips to help, expand the artist's, profile, you know what I mean? And push the event in the entirety. Interview all the people that was there and get the behind the scenes, the stories. Just make it a dope experience, for the fans at home so they could almost feel like they're there with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of service we bring. And as far as certain leagues, we've just had certain great relationships with certain leagues. Like URL, you got to cover URL. You know what I'm saying? You got to cover TBL. You got to cover, all the top battlers, leagues, and things like that, from Cal to Hitman to T-Top and things like that. And these guys, have just had so many great relationships where they've, helped my platform grow. So, I love just going to their platforms to help add to and bring whatever eyes I can to make sure that their event is, fully covered and, get the best experience for the fans just watching at home who's not able to make it.
Yeah, that drives the attention for when the battles drop later.
Exactly.
It's all an ecosystem, right? Like
100%.
one hand washes the other.
Exactly.
So
the bloggers are able to get the certain information. I'm sure the bloggers talking about the face-offs and what happened with Jack and all the little, you know what I'm saying, everything, you know what I'm saying? With Snake Eyes, and now they're getting a perspective of what happened after, and you know what I'm saying? You get Snake Eyes and Swamp arguing after the battle.
Snake's got his own channel going
salute
crazy.
to him, yeah.
Snake Pit Radio.
Yeah.
For that.
I think it's Snake Eyes TV to subscribe, you know what I'm saying? So, he's doing this thing, and, I just try my best to bring as much eyes to the culture as possible, you know what I'm saying? And when I'm not at events, just, making sure we're having the conversations that push the culture forward.
How important is that for you, pushing the culture forward?
I mean, it's vital. It's vital to the growth of the business aspect within the culture, the art within the culture, and just helps expand everybody's profile. You know what I'm saying? The more the culture grows, the more money that comes in the culture, the more people could take care of their family, be better at their craft, And I feel like a lot of people blame caffeine and stuff I see sometimes, but caffeine was some of the best experience times ever in battle rap. Like, we would wish that caffeine lasts forever. You know what I'm saying?
And the bags.
Yeah, the
and
bags.
Free events as fans.
And the battles. Like, we had the biggest, best battles of all time to me during the caffeine era. Every battle that we wanted was getting booked. Small, big, new talent, tournaments. Like, nigga, we got the best, some of the best production. Yo, caffeine was godsend. You know what I'm saying? Like, we only if we had more caffeine. So the culture could stay up. Bars, nigga.